Seen in 56 countries across 5 time zones, you're watching the award-winning AFN Evening News. Real people, real news.
Good evening to you, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm DeDe Cordell.
And I'm Army Sergeant Michelle Johnson. The future rotations in Iraq may include fewer guardsmen and reservists. Details on that in just a moment.
But we begin tonight with the latest on the Iraqi election. The road to democracy continues to be a bumpy one for Iraq. Election coordinators say the final results will be delayed because various discrepancies are prompting vote recounts from about 300 ballot boxes. Also, hundreds of other ballots were declared invalid because of alleged tampering.
Making headlines today in the war on terror, Iraqi police officers and witnesses say at least 4 people have been killed in a car bombing in central Baghdad. Police say the blast hit in a commercial area in the heart of the city as a U.S. military convoy was passing. Witnesses say no Americans are among the casualties.
A Western legal expert in Baghdad says televised trials for some of Saddam Hussein's key lieutenants are set to begin in the next several weeks. They will be tried before an Iraqi tribunal, which could hand down sentences of death by hanging or firing squad.
El Salvador has agreed to a U.S. request to send a 4th Army contingent to Iraq, according to President Tony Saka. The troops were scheduled to leave Thursday en route to the southern Iraqi town of Hilla. They will contribute to humanitarian efforts until August.
And federal aviation leaders were reportedly warned dozens of times before the 9/11 attacks about al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden. The New York Times reports that the warnings were given to leaders of the FAA and included reports on airline hijackings and suicide attacks.
Secretary of the Army Francis Harvey says there won't be as much reliance on guardsmen and reservists for future rotations to Iraq. Harvey told Congress the changes will mean significantly less stress on Army troops.
Well, the preparations continue as the 1st Infantry Division finishes up its year-long tour in Iraq.
Specialist Cole Ebo gives us a look at what these troops have left to do before they get home.
It's a bright, cold morning at FOB Base in Tikrit, Iraq, where many soldiers are showing up to pack the last of their unit's equipment before heading home. The soldiers have been in Iraq for 1 year now, fighting terrorist activity wherever it might be. Now their time is coming to a close as they begin the process of heading home.
Today we're downloading our mill van, taking all of our equipment out, opening it all up for the customs guys to come by, inspect it, load it back up, and ship it back home.
Well, we have to pack up all our equipment, make sure it's clean, stick it in the Connex, get all our personal stuff, all our gear, our TA-50, get it ready to leave, and get our stuff ready to leave, whether we're flying out or convoying out.
Since their replacements started arriving, some soldiers say the anxiousness to get home made the time speed up.
Actually, since the replacements started showing up, time's going by pretty fast. It seemed like we were here for a while, we're going to be here for a while, then all of a sudden we're down to days, weeks left.
For others, it was quite the opposite.
When you redeploy, it seems like time slows down. 2 weeks will seem like a month and a half.
Whether it goes by fast or not, the redeployment motivates all the soldiers here to finish up the job they started.
Seeing our replacements show up and seeing all the 42nd ID patches around the giant facility and around the other places around post, around the FOB, that really motivates them to, they know that the timeline is starting to redeploy home, and it's really getting their morale up.
For the soldiers in the 1st ID, redeploying means 2 things. The mission was successful and a free trip home to their family and friends. Specialist Cole Ebel, AFN News, Tikrit.
Well, as you can imagine, the Big Red One troops are really looking forward to coming home. AFN caught up to some of them on the flight line who were waiting for a ride.
I'm ecstatic to be going home. It's been a very long year. My son is almost 2. I've lost a lot of time with him, and I'm ready to make that up.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Just waiting around until they tell us to go, and then hopefully I'll get a good seat.
It feels great. Words can't describe it. It's a mixture of happiness, a little bit of anxiety because you don't know what to expect when you come home because you've been gone for a year. For 365 days you've been waking up to like mortars and gunfire and all this other stuff, and now you're going home to just peace and quiet and happiness. And actually, in a way, you're actually going to miss this place just a little bit because it actually was home for a year, so it's a lot of different feelings combined.
Overall mission to restore peace, and I'd say it's coming along pretty well. A lot of Iraqis I see that really like us here, and they support what we're doing, and they're with us. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy. Eager to get back and see the wife, and we'll take it from there and see what goes next.
Indeed, these warriors had to deal with a myriad of emotions during their 12-month stint in this war zone, and still every day they had to accomplish their mission. Army Sergeant Adam Poitras spoke to the person who helped these troops through their tough times.
It's the end of a year-long deployment for these First ID soldiers, a deployment that was filled with many challenges, both physical and spiritual.
Chaplain's work is a spiritual work. And I've had some wonderful opportunities to be able to provide services for soldiers, as well as being able to spend time with G.I. Joe just any place and every place. And sometimes help soldiers work through some pretty critical moments in their lives. I mean, you're operating 7 days a week, 24 hours a day in a threat combat environment. And the opportunity for being able to do positive works and just being able to be associated with people and help them through normal everyday activities as a chaplain is that opportunity for me, but it's enhanced here because everything here is anything but normal.
Spiritual counseling doesn't end here in Iraq. Counseling is part of their 7-day reintegration process once they're in Germany. Reporting from Tikrit, Iraq, Army Sergeant Adam Poitras, AFN News.
Well, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff has awarded the Joint Meritorious Unit Award to Headquarters Combined Joint Task Force 7 in Baghdad, Iraq, for exceptionally meritorious achievement from the 15th of June of 2003 to the 14th of May 2004. Only those military members who were present at the time and directly participated
Overnight America, we remind you the toll-free number 1-800-878-7529, and a very good time to get on in here as we do have wide open lines on the program. Just one down, or one more down and one more to go. We'll see if it happens in college basketball. Boston